Back in the locker room, Tunch and Wolf, our show brought to you by Sprint. And joining us from Italy, from his trip vacation to Italy, Tony DeFazio, the Pittsburgh Sports Report. We've been doing a little around the NFL. Now it's kind of around the world in sports. LeBron James making it to the NBA Finals. Did you get a chance to watch the Eastern Conference Finals? Very, very riveting basketball.
Unbelievable. You know, I mean, I was trying to think of things I've seen, individual performances in sports I've seen over the past, 20 years or so that topped that, and I really couldn't come up with anything. I mean, that was a Game 5 when he scored 29 of the last 30. Just absolutely
48
unbelievable.
points, 50 out of 58 minutes entire game. The last 25 points in the game.
No one else was even taking a shot.
Yeah, but Jordan-esque, but yet so far away because the cat hasn't even won one championship.
Yeah, very true. So, but you know what? He's 4 years into the league.
Right.
Improved every year.
Right.
He puts up with criticism that I just don't understand exactly. Jordan didn't win.
With Cleveland. He
puts up with Cleveland.
My goodness.
Jordan didn't win till Pippen came.
Right.
I don't know if he has a Scottie Pippen on that team.
Well,
he's retired.
And Jordan exited 3 times in the playoffs before he finally won his first championship. LeBron James took a lot of heat. The World Championships in Japan, they said he looked disinterested. The coaching staff over there said he didn't look good without the ball in his hands. Do you think the expectations are too great?
I think so. I mean, the kid came out of high school 4 years ago. He should be in his senior year of college right now. He's trying to win an NBA championship. Right. I just don't understand the criticisms. I think he's really been, that stuff's away from the NBA, and you can make the argument, well, he's representing his country, but at the same time, he's under contract to Cleveland. To me, what really matters is what happens when he gets on the floor, and I think he's been spectacular, and he doesn't cause any problems away from the gym.
That's a good point. And what's the burnout factor for a guy like that? I mean, you can all pull so many great games out of your body.
You know what? It's kind of funny that it was like the light bulb turned on for him, and he said, all right, I'm going to put this team on my shoulders. Game 5, he was the show. Game 6, when they were double and triple team, he showed maturity. That's what I thought was very impressive. Passed off. That's what I like about him. He's not the guy that that feels like he's always got to take the shots. He's always talking about, other guys stepping up. I want to feed you the ball. Now, having said that, beating Detroit, do they have a chance against San Antonio?
I think they have a chance. I mean, I don't think the team is just LeBron. Right. They have some great rebounders. They have great post defenders. They have anybody that can handle Duncan. I don't know. Duncan's on the verge of becoming one of the greatest players of his generation, I think. So I got to think San Antonio, they're obviously the favorite, and I think for reason. But I wouldn't count these guys out. I mean, they have some other players stepping up and players all of a sudden realizing that they are better than maybe they thought they were. A kid like Daniel Gibson, the rookie. So I think they have a chance. I think they're going to make it pretty entertaining. I think they're going to be in most of the games.
Right.
Well, I think it'd be interesting to see that matchup again when LeBron comes up on the Duncan. Yeah. And does he do a Duncan on Duncan? Because he did that one time.
He did it to the bigs in Detroit, man.
He did.
Yep.
Right. He did, and he did it on Duncan. He's got that picture in his locker just to kind of saying that we could do it. Of course, that was during the regular season. Tim Duncan has a way of turning it up a notch in the playoffs. With their experience. I think it'll be interesting for a while. I'm not sure, but let me ask you this. Did the NBA need LeBron James to be in the finals this year?
I don't know that they necessarily needed it. I think it's done a world of good. I mean,
now that Mark Cuban's out of the playoffs.
Well, there you go, exactly. The talk in Pittsburgh, obviously you don't get a lot of NBA talk in this city, and there is a little bit of a buzz about the finals. Maybe it's because Cleveland's so close, but I think LeBron has more to do with it than anything.
Yeah. Oh man, I think they needed him big time.
Yeah.
The cat is ready to explode into mega stardom. He's already a mega star, but you can go mucho mega star, I guess.
Mucho mega star?
Double MS, right?
Yeah, double MS. I like that. See, we speak the same coprosthetic language here.
Oh, poor you,
Tony. Is that not good? I know. That's not a good thing.
Poor you, Tony. Poor you.
Consider it a bonus.
I will say this. I don't think I would have been interested in the Eastern Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals, if LeBron James was in there.
You proved my point.
You made a point, and so
and a good one at that.
and a good point by you. But you're right. I wouldn't have watched it. I wouldn't have watched the game. I wouldn't have watched Game 5. I mean, I was riveted Game 5. I was riveted Game 6, and then I only watched the fourth quarter. I'm going, man, he's dishing off. They're triple team. They're coming after him, and I was very, very impressed just with the whole thing. The NHL Stanley Cup was hoisted up by the Anaheim Ducks. Did you know, and did you care?
I was going to say the what? The Stanley what? The Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, has it ever been this? I mean, what's wrong? What is wrong with the marketing aspect of the NHL? Because we've talked about it. The three of us have talked about it on our radio show. We've talked about. It's an exciting product. It's an exciting game. How come nobody knows about it? You know,
I think they even did the right thing. It was very broken a couple of years ago, so they just shut it down and rebuilt the whole thing, and I think they did a good job. I thought that the interest might be higher. I thought my interest would be higher. You know, the Penguins had such a good season. They were such a compelling story. I have to admit, I didn't care so much after the Penguins were out of the playoffs. And that I think the rest of Pittsburgh felt the same way, and the rest of the country. I mean, NBC had their lowest primetime rating ever. With I think it was game 3 or 4, one of the first games they aired. People just don't care, and Anaheim's playing. LA is involved in this thing, and you know, and nobody cared, and it's a shame. People used to care. I don't know what happened.
You know what I think it is? I think the biggest screw up that the NHL did is Bettman's feud with ESPN. I think hockey is a sport that I mean, you look around the league, the attendance is great, and you know, and it is probably the best in-person sport. I mean, there's nothing like watching, and it's a little harder on television. But if you stay with ESPN or Fox Sports, an exclusive sports network, you've got the promotion, and it is, and I think that you got to celebrate. You got Sidney Crosby, and you should be showing highlights. I mean, and you know, whoever the stars are, you've got to feature the stars. You know, and NBC is no longer a legitimate sports network. I mean, you know, they are in the NFL, and that's a different story, but they don't know how to promote their sports anymore. And I think you show the stars and do the feature story, and you need someone like ESPN or Fox Sports Center. And I think that...
Well, you don't need the outdoor channel, which is now, what, Versus or something?
When you don't know... when the fans don't know where to find it. I mean, I talked to people today didn't know the game was on. Didn't even know it was on.
No promotions. So, Commissioner for the day, how do you make the NHL better? Commissioner for the day.
You know, I think you're onto something there with they have to promote the sport better
on television.
I don't know how.
That's a TV. That's what makes NFL so good. It's made for TV.
Bettman came from the NBA. I mean, who was one of the greatest, you know, marketers of their sport, obviously, you know, worldwide. You think he would learn some lessons there. And the other thing, some people might not like this, but they're trying to pull fighting out of the sport and trying to act like it's something that fans don't want to see. Fans watch football. Fans watch NASCAR. American sports fans watch football. They watch NASCAR. And what NASCAR fan does, and they might tell you differently, they check out the crashes. Yeah. You know, fighting has always been a part of the sport, and you know, people aren't really getting killed necessarily. They're so I think that's something that's missing.
I think one of the bigger questions is, what are the Ducks going to do now for the parade? Do they go through L.A.? But they're in Anaheim. You got Disney World. But who's going to notice a parade in Disney? Right? They got parades all the time.
Yeah. You know, what a...
It just beguiles you. Doesn't that make you wonder what's going on?
What a problem the Ducks can have.
Yeah, you got to think about that one.
Sidney Crosby, captain for next year. Is he too young? Was the move made too early in the offseason? Does it matter?
I don't think. I mean, I think the guy obviously has to be captain. I think he's proven that. I think he proved that this past year. I think the timing was probably right. I mean, coming off of last, you know, 2 seasons ago when they had such a bad year, even though he had a great year, I think the timing wasn't quite right. I think he learned a lot from guys like Recchi and Gary Roberts this year, and I think it's perfect timing. And I think, you know, coming off of a big season, it's just, to me, just a perfect segue into this next season.
And who else could wear the C on the sweater?
And that's the other thing.
And why do they still call it a sweater?
Yeah, why is it?
I love that.
It's just one of those things that makes you sit up at night.
Well, you know what? You sweat more. You sweat more with a sweater.
Is that it?
But, you know,
nice
I'm thinking cardigan or pullover.
Well, that's all we have time for. You can see Wolf in a cardigan, and he will be he'll be displaying the fall wear for chic men about town. Tony, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the dirt from the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Very nice about you.
All right.
Very nice. All right, when we come back, we will be talking to the #2 loser in the entire world, Robbie Herbin, right here from North Hills High School, right here in the locker room.